All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming out to you with a UFC fight announcement. So UFC 315 is going down on Saturday, May 10th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and they are bringing us a flyweight championship bout between the champ Valentina Bullet Shevchenko and Manon the Beast Fiorot. This was the fight to make. I mean, Fiorot, she's ranked, I think, number 2 currently in the UFC official rankings, right behind number 1, Alexa Grasso. Personally, even though I'm a Grasso fan, I would have Fiorot at number 1. Yep, and looking at the rankings, she is number 2. But this is the fight to make after Fiorot beat Erin Blanchfield, and then she was the official substitute for Shevchenko or Grasso versus Shevchenko 3. This was the fight that should have been made, and I'm glad they made it. Dana White announced this via his Instagram yesterday on Wednesday, February 19th. Let's go ahead and get into the stats before we get into the fight here. So, Shevchenko, Bullet comes in at 24-4-1. The Beast, Fiorot, comes in at 12-1. Very different records here. So, Fiorot is undefeated in the UFC at, 7 fights, I believe. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Undefeated, 7 straight fights in the UFC. Most recently defeated Erin Blanchfield. That was 10 months ago. So she very patiently waited for her shot. Risky, but it paid off for her. Valentina, on the other hand, has only faced one opponent in the last 2.5 years, and that's Alexa Grasso. She got submitted to her in the first fight. They drew in the second fight, and then last September, Valentina played it safe, won a unanimous decision to recapture the title. Neither of these ladies are on the right side of their 30s. Looking at the age here, Fiorot is younger at 35. Shevchenko is 37. Age is going to start catching up to these two ladies. Some would even argue that it already has caught up to Shevchenko. Fiorot has the height advantage, 5'7", 169 centimeters to 5'5", 165 centimeters for Shevchenko. Reach is actually a little bit closer, 66 inches, 168 centimeters for Fiorot to 65.5 inches, 166 centimeters for Shevchenko. So my thoughts on this fight. All right, I'm not going to pretend to tell you that this is going to be a fun, exciting fight. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Here's why. Neither of these two ladies are risk takers. They are very risk averse, and they have no problem doing enough to win, and not one step further than that. We saw that when Shevchenko fought Grasso the third time. We've seen that in a number of fights from her. Fiorot, 7 fights in the UFC, 5 decisions. She hasn't finished anyone since she beat short notice Tabitha Ricci all the way back in her second UFC fight, and that was in June of 2021. Since then, 5 straight decisions. Mayra Bueno Silva, boring decision. Jennifer Maia, decision. Katlyn Sermonara, decision. Rose Namajunas, safe decision. Erin Blanchfield, safe decision. She took no risks in any of these fights. And we know Valentina is very risk averse. So hopefully it'll at least be a good fight, as in there will be some high level skill on display. If you are a skill nut, you will probably like this fight. If you are an action nut, you're probably going to hate this fight. That's just the way it is. Personally, I prefer action. I'm paying good money. I want to see some action. I don't think this is going to be an action fight. I just don't. Another thing, both fighters are very content to counter. And every time they match 2 counter fighters against each other, snooze fest. So this video will probably end up being more exciting than their fight as far as action goes. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Shevchenko definitely has the advantage on the ground if she can get it there. Fiorot hasn't exactly been fighting grapplers, though, so it's hard to say. I mean, well, Blanchfield was a grappler. She couldn't get her down. Everybody else she fought? No, not really. So Shevchenko will have the advantage on the ground. Ooh, as far as the striking goes, Manon has the height and the reach. That's definitely going to play into her advantage. She might actually end up being the one coming forward. Because very rarely do you see a taller fighter just stay back. Although she could. She can very well do that. She can just stay behind her jab. Her jab and a push kick. Her two favorite things. That's what she throws the most in fights. So who knows? We'll have to see. As far as a pick goes, I don't have one right now. This is going to boggle my mind probably right up all through fight week. But thankfully, that doesn't happen until May 10th. So, UFC 315, Shevchenko versus Fiorot for the Flyweight Championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Wmma Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.